Happy friggin' Saturday, everybody, from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea. We're here live in the Spyderco capital of the world. I'm going to tone down the music for a second. It's 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so you know what time it is. It's time to Spartan kick the like button.
This is Sparta!
If you're tuning in after the fact, after the live stream, please make sure to let me know in the comment section. That is your arena if you can't make it to the live stream. Post any questions that you have there. Tell me how much you wished you were here. I don't know. I'm here for the conversation. I'm here for a chance to connect with people. Let me straighten out my camera there for a second. But guys, it's been a long week. I've tried to steadily increase the production of videos. It's been hard. I've been busy. Life has a way of doing that, right? You say, here are my plans, and the universe laughs at you. Anyways, got a couple new episodes out recently. A knife that a lot of people seem to love. This guy, the tenable Calibri Tech. And of course, this guy, the tenable Fermi. Did an episode on those. Did an episode on this guy right here. I don't like crossbar style locks. Typically, they're not my favorite. There's something about Kaiser's clutch lock though, which is really good. And if you want to know more about the Kaiser Mini Mystic, that is my most recent episode. Feel free to check it out if you guys want to. I can tell you right now, if you're a lefty and you're tired of not having ambidextrous knives, here you go. The Kaiser Mini Mystic is phenomenal. Nitro V steel clutch lock. You can change the tension on the locks without actually having to blast the whole knife apart. You know, like, I'm a huge fan of Vosteed, but they could learn something from Kaiser. Take apart a couple crossbar style locks and you'll see what I mean. It's just really good. Aluminum, acrylic, Nitro V. $75? Are you kidding me? No way. It's good. It's really good. And Kaiser, they just released a bunch of new knives. A bunch. And they asked me which one I wanted to check out. I didn't get 5 or 6 like some people. It's okay. I'm happy to check out what I can. Guys, enough of my monologue. Before I get into shouting out people, I do have an announcement that I want to make, just in case anyone is watching after the fact. And for those who are here, I'll mention it again at the end of the live stream for people that tune in late. I am moving to what I call a winter schedule for live streams between now and we'll call it April. Between now and April, the live streams are moving to a winter schedule. So what does that mean? I have a feeling that a lot of people are not going to be a fan of this, but it is necessary to achieve my goals for the channel. The winter schedule is going to be, instead of having 2 live streams a week, I'm going back to just 1. And I know, but hear me out. The reason for this is that, typically speaking, I've looked at the analytics, the live streams aren't as hot, during the first 4 months of the year. They're not as hot. The winter has cooled them off. And as much as I enjoy doing them, with the less amount of time that I have right now, I've got a lot going on, and I've got a desire to delve deeper into certain type of content, which is really the heart and soul of this channel. So, for example, some of you guys are familiar with my Steel Snobs content. And if you're not, thank you for watching my knife reviews. I have published 10, feel free to count them, 10 Steel Snobs episodes. And they account for 186,429 views. You can't put together any 10 of my knife reviews and come up with that. If you were to check the subscribers that have joined because of that series, the amount of popularity that series has is palpable. It is the heart and soul of this channel. I have published 700 videos, and I can tell you that it breaks my heart knowing that this is the content that people are constantly asking for more of. And because I don't have the time, I can't make it. And that kills me on the inside. So for the first 4 months of the year, since live streams during the first 4 months, during the first quarter of the year, are generally a bit slower anyways, as far as viewership, so on and so forth. I'm going to take these first 4 months to really get in the flow and get some more Steel Snobs content out there. That's the content that people remember. It's the content that people get really excited for. And that's the content that I want to make. In the last live stream, I came out with a statement because somebody said, what are your goals for 2025? And instead of giving a subscriber count goal, my goal is to make more better content. Because if you do that, then the audience will come. The audience will be there. I don't want to be a one-trick pony. I love knife reviews as much as everybody. As a connoisseur and collector, they're going to be there. They will always be there. But I need the time in order to make Steel Snobs content and to make it to a point where it's quality and it's worth watching. And also, so it's entertaining. And if I can't do that, I feel like I'm really letting down a huge part of my audience and really hindering the growth of the channel. So up until April, starting next week, I'll only be going live once a week. It'll be Saturdays, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for all you weekend warriors out there. And we'll be aiming for a minimum of a 2-hour live stream. So I know it's going to be seeing me less in a week, but hopefully you also get to see more of the content that maybe originally brought you to the channel in the first place. So thank you guys in advance for understanding. Now is your opportunity to let me have it in the chat. I'll take the criticism, but I think that this will be a positive change for the first quarter of the year, and it'll really get the ball rolling to come out with some amazing content, which is what I aim to do with the channel. So with that being said, I'm going to whiz through some shout outs. What's up to Mike and Ike's EDC? Thanks for being a channel member. Shout out to Marco, Revolving Blades Gas Station Knives. He says, I have a homemade sourdough deep dish combo pizza baking in a skillet. If anyone is interested, I'll take a slice or two. Chubby Monkey over here, I will happily share that pizza. Jim Miller, what's up, man? Thanks for being a channel member as well. We got Trouble Bunny in the house. Laid Off Pete, another channel member. Hold on. Blade Shooter G, Bluetooth Blades in the house. What's up, man? Thanks for being a channel member. Crazy Roach. Let's go Ed B. Thanks for being a channel member. Sterling Stutz. We're going as fast as we can because I'm monologued for way too long. Mark Parks, thanks for being a channel member. Welcome into Rod Lively. Let's go. Ace Palone, good to see you, man. TC Blades, what's up, brother? Good to see you. All right, guys, the chat is going to jump, and so if I missed you in the shout out initially, I'm sorry. We're going to catch up with the chat. Let's go. Okay. Hey, shout out to the Night's Edge. What's up, Neil? Guys, check out the Night's Edge. I know you guys are all over there anyways, but in case anyone is watching, if you're interested in a up-and-coming channel, check out my buddy Neil over at the Night's Edge. Ian Coates, another channel mod in the house. Good to see you, man. Let's go. Adventure 50, welcome in. Thanks for being a channel member. And shout out to Bluminati Ninja for the gifted membership. Congrats to Kevin Smith and Knives on getting that membership. Right on, guys. Right on. All right. Daily Gear Guide, also known as JD for EDC. What's up, man? Good to see you. He says, what is up, Rollshambo? 2025 starts the road to 20K, bro. You know, I would love to hit 20K. Hitting 20K this year would be very, very, very cool. For me, the goal is not just subscribers. I want the subscriber number to mean something. A lot of people on the outside that don't really know what it's like to build a channel They look at them like, oh yeah, they've got X amount of subscribers. But I don't know a single channel out there that's like, give me all the subscribers in the world and no views. So for me, the goal is to get subscribers as a side effect of creating content that is good enough for people to want to watch it and to want to watch the next episode. So would love to hit 20K. I'd love for it to be a authentic 20K and truly solidify the channel's spot. You know, that would be great. That'd be very vindicating. So we'll see. Oftentimes I got a lot of great ideas, or at least they sound great. And then they're not. Fresh, what's up, man? Good to see you. All right, hold on. Ace Palone says, Ian, if he goes full Cole, does he need to start on the Hitler mustache? I just shaved before the live stream. I can grow a mustache. I can grow facial hair. It doesn't look good, guys. It's patchy. Like 34 years old here. I've never been able to grow a full beard. Like I grow facial hair, but it's like my face hates me. And if I try to grow facial hair, then my wife hates me. So there's no point. I'm freshly shaved today. I'm clean shaven. I feel like if you're going to grow a beard, it's got to be lustrous, you know. I can't grow the lustrous beard. I've accepted that. Forever baby faced. All right. Anyways, guys, looks like we're all still saying hi to each other in the chat. That's cool. Gnarly Charlie, good to see you. He says, hi, yo, I'm here because I buy knives and I like to watch knife content. Cheers, Rollshambo. Hey, man, cheers to you. I think we're all on the same wagon. And, you know, for me, I make the channel. I do the channel stuff because I enjoy sharing my love of the hobby with others. The funny thing is that the expectations people bring to the table when they see a review, like I made a piece of content earlier, I want to say it was like halfway through 2024, and the episode was just about my 4 favorite automatic out the side American made knives that I checked out during the year. It wasn't supposed to be like an advertisement. It wasn't supposed to be like, you need to buy this knife right now. It was just me sharing my 4 favorite knives, all of which, by the way, I had already done full reviews on. At least one. Some of them I had done multiple videos on. And so it wasn't this whole in-depth review. You know, I wasn't trying to sell anybody on anything. And somebody left a comment on it the other day. They're like, you didn't do a great job of showing the capabilities of blah, blah, blah. I would never buy that based off of your review. I'm like, cool, good for you. I'm just here to share. If you buy something with one of my links, cool. That's great. But I looked at it and I was like, he really wanted me to sell him on this knife, and he was disappointed because he wanted me to sell him on it. Like, you don't need me to sell you a knife. We're all degenerates. We're all mad here. If you want to buy it, just buy it. He seemed genuinely upset that I didn't try harder to sell him on something. I don't know. But that's something that I've been running into lately, is people's expectations of what the channel should be or what a specific piece of content should be. And I'm not falling into those traps. I'm just going to make content the way that I want to. Yeah. Good to see you, Gnarly Charlie. Welcome into Tom Cook. Thanks for being a channel member. Ed Durbin in the house, another channel member. Good to see you, man. Ian says, I can see Roll being the guy that has the horsehair shaving cream brush, safety razor, all that. Oh, man. I've got the single bladed razor. My razor is, I forget what brand it is, but it's a titanium handle, single blade. It's an ejection style. And I like that. I used to get razor burn on my face and like ingrown hairs. You guys know. You know, because even though I don't grow facial hair well, I still grow enough of it for me to need to shave in the first place. And anyways, so I love the injection razors because you can go on Amazon and buy the replacements for those. You can buy like a year's supply for like $10. You know, just switch it out every 2 or 3 shaves. I still have like a year's worth of razors left that I bought from a year ago. So that's why I do it. Plus, the single bladed razors don't actually irritate my skin, and they do a good job. Every now and then I'll cut myself, but I do that with knives anyways. All right. I'm just checking out the chat. Gas Station Knife says, maybe do a bunch of annoying disclaimers like MC. This is not a review. It's just, if you want to know where that came from, just watch some of his older stuff and look at the comments section. The people are brutal, man. You put yourself out there and you kind of have to accept it. You have to accept it. There's a comment section for a reason. And if you don't want to hear the stupid things people have to say, then you shouldn't put yourself on a public forum. That's something I have to remind myself of frequently, because not all the conversation that happens is positive. Some people get really upset. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I am definitely trying. I would love to do this YouTube thing full time. I'd love to have a positive impact. You know, I ask myself questions all the time. Questions like, what kind of content would take someone from being just a user of pocket knives and turn them into a full-blown enthusiast? Because I know my story, and I've heard several stories from other people. For me, it was just watching regular knife reviews. And, I watched one, and then it auto-played to the next one, and before I knew it, rest in peace to my wallet. But those are the questions I ask, because I want to not only have an impact with the community that's here, but also bring in new people. That's actually what the Steel Snobs content is for. It's for people who are seeking answers. He says, yeah, I was right. A real shaving nut. That's a different razor, Ian. Oh, you meant that I'm deep into the shaving. No, I watched like an Instagram ad one time. They're like, do you have razor burn? Yes. Ingrown hairs? Yes. Are you tired of paying for those ads? They won. It was a good ad. I bit. It's been the thing. JD says, you just look a little shady. I'd be sketch about taking your recommendations too. You think I look shady now? Just wait until I try to grow facial hair again. Hey, Brasher Bear, good to see you. Welcome in, man. Ian says, I wanted to step into safety razors, but I feel I'd bleed so much Cole's cuts would look tame. No, it's really not that bad. It's really not that bad. I was about to say just get some good shaving cream and make sure to prep your face well beforehand, but no. You don't even have to do that. I use the cheap, the aerosol can shaving cream. I don't even use good shaving cream. I don't even use good razors. Like I said, I buy like 500 of those ejection razors at a time. They suckered me in with the titanium handle, okay? Gas Station Knife says, ignoring those comments is an option, or let us school the... It is easy to say. It's harder to do. And a lot of it has to do with when you are making content. And I won't speak for other channels. I'll just speak for myself. But like when I make content, I put in hours and hours of work to form an opinion and record the video and edit the video and figure out if there's going to be background music. What's it going to be? Then I take the photos and then I edit and then I upload. And then I'm waiting because I'm like, here's this content that I made for you. What do you think? And then they come in, they're like, your hands look like a troll. So it's easy to be on the outside being like, they should just ignore that. And some channels are really good at that. I'm one of those people that I like talking to people, and it's really difficult for me to ignore comments sometimes. I've been working on it though. I've been ignoring more comments than ever, mainly because I've been busy. Rod Lively says, shout out to Fitz.edc for taking care of my order mistake. He answered me back fast and said he would take a final squirrel stock one out and send it out. Awesome. I'll be honest, I have no idea what we're talking about. What's up, SC Rick? Good to see you, man. Kevin Smith and Knives, welcome in, bro. Let's go, Mick Ranger. Good to see you. All right. Knives and Gear Insight, welcome in. Knife Nut 69, Lone Star Towboy, welcome in, man. Good to see you. He says he can step into safety razors now that he has his GED. Are we talking about Cole, or are we talking about Ian? Hold on. Brasher Beer says the key to double-edged razors is shaving. Double-edged razor shaving is just like knife sharpening. Find the correct angle. I mean, the one that I use, it's not hard. You know, like I have cut myself a few times with it, but it's generally pretty good. You know, it didn't take a whole lot of time to get used to. Gnarly Charlie says fixed blades provide answers. That's my rationale for getting a Kaiser variable and a Suez fixed blade this month. Man, I wish that I had more of a solid reason to carry a fixed blade. There's some really sweet fixed blades out there. Specifically, North Mountain Blade has one that I really like. Did I say hi to Rainey? What's up, Rainey? Good to see you. Welcome in. All right. Oh yeah, Barbasol. That's the name of the cheap shaving cream that I use. Absolutely. I love this. I love this smell. Is that weird? Does anyone else love the smell of Barbasol? I like it. It's unapologetically filled with testosterone. If I had to come up with a smell for testosterone, that's what testosterone would smell like. I like it. Anyways, what's up, Fred? Good to see you, man. In case you guys are wondering what I'm carrying today, before we get into some pocket checks, coming out the 5th pocket, I've been carrying this. Review coming soon on the Devo Mini Growler. Somebody asked me for a mini review for the Mini Growler in the last live stream. Really good carry so far. Very much enjoying it. Let's see if I can get that to focus. It's a small knife that doesn't feel like a small knife in the hand. Very, very good cutting geometry. Kubi did a fantastic job. I don't love everything about it. If you want to know more about it, wait for the review. Should be out in the next couple of days. And then, of course, my main carry. I can't stay away. People ask me all the time, Rollshambo, if you could only have one knife, you know, could you go with only one knife? For me to only carry one knife, it would have to be a hell of a knife. And I have several knives that could be considered true one and dones. The Numzon, also known as the Nom Nom Nom, is one of those knives. And this guy is fan-freaking-tastic. Huge fan of this knife. Absolutely love carrying it. Excellent cutting geometry. It's just really good. Those of you who have one know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not a cheap knife. It's not an easy to get knife, but it's one of those knives where, you know, if I had to leave all of my folding knives behind in a house fire and I had to flee with only what was in my pocket, there's a fair chance it would be this knife. If I had to start the collection over, there's a lot worse knives you could start a collection over with than this guy. That was in my pocket. What was in your pocket? We're going to find out in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So here we are. We're starting off the day's pocket checks with drink water. I believe that's the Satu, and he's carrying a Spyderco McBee. Very nice. The Pons with the Tenable Calibri. He's got a CJRB Pyrite. And is that that's not the civivi utility knife, is it? I don't think so. Also got a nice Arkfeld Pro. Very cool. Freddie G, he's got the Kaiser Hawk, the Utzler Duckling, and the Tuya Knives Edcraft. So this is I'm going to talk about this for a second. This down here, or I'll zoom out actually so that my face isn't covering it. Down here, lower left-hand corner, this knife is the Utzler Duckling or Duckling. This is a knife that's been wildly popular, and it's been growing in popularity. I don't believe it's an American-made knife. I am pretty sure that it is foreign, but they've been selling like hotcakes on the secondary market. They're not cheap. Think same realm as Oz Roosevelt's, same realm as, Koenig Arias. It's one of those high-end mid-tech knives that is really, really popular. It's on my hit list. Can I afford it? No. The discretionary income is not there, but I've only heard good things. So I can't wait to eventually get my hands on one. And of course, Fred the Lug would of course have an Utzler. I've been told that's how you say it, by the way, that it's Ut and not Utzler. It's Utzler is what I've been told. It's on the list right next to the Blaurock Blades BRB folding knives. And yeah, one of these days I'm going to check one out. Ed with the Kaiser Megatherium. Shout out to Elijah Isham. May you rest in peace. Look at that. I believe that is one of Kaiser's more recent releases, because they did another release of the Megatherium to end, I think it was to end 2024. And they were going to bring it back for a limited run, and they did some different carbon fiber options. So I'd be curious to see if that was one of those. Really cool. Thanks for sharing, Ed. A Kaleidoscope of Knives. He's got the Tri-Stash and what looks like a Vero Axon. Or is that the Synops? I can never tell. One of those two. I believe that's the Axon. Tri-Stash and Axon. Very nice carry. This, again, my carry today. Proof from earlier. In the car, because why not? We've got the that's the God of Mischief, right? The Renegade Hanks GOM. Renegade Hanks God of Mischief. I think so. Kevin Smith, he's got several nice knives here. Starting from the bottom, that looks like starting from the bottom, that would be a QSP Hedgehog TPK edition. Could be wrong. Followed by a Something Obscene Neemly Cleaver. And then that's the Arcane Designs with Brian Brown collab. It was their Hawksbill. What was it called? I forget what it's called. Berkblade Sweeney. And of course, a Brian Brown Jaeger MV3. Yeah. I'm pretty sure based on the pivot that's a V3. Could be wrong though. Who knows? Let's see. Rainey's got a nice carry today. That looks like a... Is that a Spyderco Mule with custom handle scales in 15V? Followed by a 15V Shaman, followed by a 15V Paramilitary 2, and then a 15V Para 3 Lightweight. You monster. Oh man. And you know what? All of those Crucible steels, especially the 15V models, are about to become very, very rare indeed, because we still have no positive news coming out of Crucible. Crucible Industries is still in the process of filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which is awful. The next Steel Snobs episode I'm working on is actually going to be talking about that situation. So that's in the works. Let's see. Chris Warris, he's got that would be a Inkosi Tanto and that's an Asher. I'm not good with the Asher knives. It's not an Asher Spiro. It's a cool Asher knife though. Let's see, Jeremy Nidro, he's got the lightweight paramilitary too. Yeah. And I don't know what that one on the bottom is, but I like it. It's very cool. Let's see, Jim Miller's got the Tenable CDC collab Fenrir, the Vosteed Corgi, and the CRKT Minimalist. Right on. Thanks for sharing, Jim. Laid off Pete, he's got a QSP Penguin. Is this one... Is that one the... what's it called? What's it called? Is that the one from Caviso? Is that a Caviso exclusive? Let me know. And then, of course, also this guy right here. That is the Tuya Wrath. Very nice. Mark Pease showing up with the Aurora Knife and Tools Truffle. Very cool. TC Blades, he's got the Mini Growler and a Demco 8020.5. The Woobin X2. That's a cool flashlight. I have one. I really enjoy it. Crazy Roach, he's rocking the Tri-Stash. so many mustaches. I can't grow one, but everyone's got one in the pocket check. Actually, the mustache does come in all right. It's everything else. Like it gets patchy. All right, Adventure 50. He's got. Hold on. Is that what's that called? It's got a Scandi grind. Is that? I'm trying to read it off the blade. Is that a Finwolf? Is that what they're called? I've heard of those. Ed Durbin with a knife that I absolutely have no idea what that is. It looks cool though. I love the crazy milling on those handle skills. And then a Spyderco McBee. I gotta ask though, Ed, like those lanyards are massive, dude. Is your McBee lanyard longer than the knife itself? Asking for a friend. Let's see, Gas Station Knife says, didn't leave the house today, but this is what I flicked at the desk. He's got the Quetzalcoatl Smoke Show. That looks like the Rubato. That's the O-Knife Rubato 3. Pretty sure I reviewed one. Or wait, no, that's not a. Is that a Hogue Deca? I don't know. I should just mail it in, guys. I'm just gonna mail it in. I'm missing today. Knife Nut 69's got an 8020.5. Very cool. Renee Ramon with the Tri-Stash. He's got the Vu Fam knife. What did he call that? I should know. And then of course the NAFS Lander. Very cool. Guys, if you want to know how to share a pocket check, got to be in the members only Discord. That's where it goes down. Channel members, if you haven't done so yet, please consider joining the channel members only Discord. We hang out and chat. We share pocket checks. We share new knives that we get in on a daily basis. We post knife drops and deals. And of course we have the knife yard sale. It's a fun time. And if you're interested in hearing me monologue in text format, that is the best place to find it. Anyways, BB Ant says, did Rolls just turn up his nose at Cold Steel? Not at all. I may have misidentified one. That is entirely possible. But no, I like Cold Steel. Ian says, it's a Hogue, Roll. Roll is having a worse record than Cole tonight. Yeah. I appreciate it when people help me out. Like, Jim is always helping me out. See that? Be like Jim. Jim's over here like, Roll will never remember the names of these models. He knows. Thank you, Jim. Be more like Jim, everybody. Help me out. It's by the time you see me, it's already been a long day. Promise. Yeah, the Miguron vein. But I believe it's spelled V-A-Y-N-E. That's the one. That's Vu Fam's knife with Miguron. All right, yeah, so it was a Haute Deca. Okay. To be fair, those scales do remind me pretty heavily of the O-Knife Rubato. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Was it the 4? It might have been the 4. Maybe it was the 3. But I reviewed one like a long time ago. Did they change? Yeah, okay. So this is what I thought that it was initially. And of course, looking back now, I can tell that it looks nothing like that. It's been a long day. Rainy says, Roll, do a steel snobs for K390. I want to. I really want to. One of the hard parts in doing steel snobs on specific steels is there's a limited amount of information. And so that's not to say that I can't do an episode. It's all about finding the information that's out there, interpreting it, and finding the story that's behind it. You know, what makes the information relevant? What, you know, for K390 specifically, the question I'd love to answer for people is, why do we not see it very often? And I think the assumed answer is, well, it's hard to manufacture, right? But that's not the case, because we see steels like CPM 15V in more knives than we see K390. And neither of those are very easy to manufacture. We're seeing more knives in Rex 121. That steel is definitely not easy to manufacture. So for me, it's all about finding the story, you know, the why behind the episode. Sometimes I'm in the middle of writing the episode before I find the why. But I want to do one on K390. That's definitely what I want to do one on. I want to do one on CPM 15V. I want to do a lot of different steels for steel snobs. BB Ant says K390 versus Rex 121. Well, neither one of them are very corrosion resistant. They're both super high wear resistant. I would rather, I'll say this, Rex 121 is undeniably the knife that's going to have the best edge retention. It's the knife steel with the best edge retention. And so if you prescribe to the belief that edge retention is everything, or at least most of the thing, then there's really no debate there. Rex 121 will hold an edge longer than any other steel. Notice how I said steel, not talking tungsten carbide or whatever that garbage is that they make some of those Sandrin knives out of. It's not garbage, but I'm talking steel. It's steel snobs, right? So that's the issue. Is a lot of people look at that and they say, well, how long is it going to hold an edge? Because the amount of time that it can cut is what's most important. But it's not. K390 is going to be much tougher than Rex 121. And the question comes into, it must be asked, you know what? Maybe I do need to do K390 versus Rex 121. For the record, I was actually thinking of K390 versus CPM 15V. That would have been my comparison. But now I'm starting to wonder. Good point. Gas Station Knives says, every time I grab an Axis lock, I feel like a limp dick grandpa who just ran out of the blue pill. The weak D10 offends me. I got to try that one that you reviewed recently. Oh yeah, man. Listen, it's generally easy for me to fail a crossbar style lock. This one doesn't want to fail on me. I love the fact that it's got garage stop pins. Let's see. And you can adjust the clutch lock strength without actually fully disassembling the knife. I do like Vosteat's crossbar lock, but the issue that I have with it is that you have to basically blow up the knife in order to change the settings, and then put it all back together, and it's a pain. It's a pain. I struggled with one the other day for like 30, 40 minutes. You could change the strength of the clutch lock on this in about 5 minutes, easily. And it's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. So you got to give it to Kaiser. They had a really good idea with the clutch lock, and now everybody wants to be Kaiser's clutch lock. If there was one company that could ever threaten Benchmade's Axis lock, it's Kaiser's clutch lock. I think I might actually prefer the clutch lock over the Axis lock, but they're the same lock. Yes, but no. Yes, but no. Rainey says, I love edge retention, but without a little toughness, I'm out. Yeah. You know what? It's the same story for Maximate as Rex 121. Amazing wear resistance. Maximate is very close to Rex 121. A good comparison would be those two. I have literally seen a Maximate blade break just from being dropped on the carpet. I tell this story once in a while, but I got a buddy of mine who I used to work in office with for my day job, and he was showing me his Manix 2 lightweight in Maximate, and he flicks it open and he drops it, and it drops tip first into the carpet. It falls over on its side and snaps the tip off. And if you go on Reddit, God forbid, you end up in the swamp that is known as Reddit, and you search for Spyderco Maximate, you will find lots and lots of accounts of people having issues with their Maximate Spydercos breaking. The reason is because people like to hard use their Spydercos, and why not? You know, they're great for that generally. But the Maximate ones are, as far as steel is concerned, they're very likely to shatter. Anyways, shout out to Bluetooth Blades for the $5 super. He says, do K390 versus 15V, then the winner versus Rex 121. Ooh, you mean like do it tournament style, bracket style, March Madness? That could be a thing. March Madness. It's not just, my opinion, just so you guys know, it's not just about how long it can hold an edge. It's also about the value. You know, for example, you get a lot of value, a ton of value out of 14C, specifically when it's been cryo treated. You get a lot of value out of 14C. It's some of the most corrosion resistant steel. It is some of the most tough steel, and it's some of the least expensive steel. It doesn't have the greatest wear resistance, but you can put a screaming sharp, thin edge geometry behind it, and you can get it to last a long time just based off of the edge geometry. So if you get a knife in 14C with the right blade and edge geometry, it's a beautiful thing. Hollow ground 14C that's been cryo treated is amazing. Fred the Lug says Axis lock is many years old. Clutch lock is much newer. You have to think they were able to improve over time. Yeah. And you know, the sad thing is that, you know who should have improved it? Benchmade. You know who owned they owned the utility patent. And then they prescribed well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And then it wasn't until the utility patent ran out and all of a sudden everyone's like, I want a crossbar style lock, that it was improved. That's sad to me that the company most known for that type of lock wasn't the ones to actually improve it. That's kind of sad to me. Like, why did we have to wait for Kaiser to come out with the better version? I don't get it. Yet another Benchmade failing. Yep. Yeah, the fact that Benchmade had the access lock for a decade and couldn't figure out how to make it customizable shows right where the company is at. Exactly what I was talking about. Exactly what I was talking about. Hey, Ron Dobbins, good to see you, man. Renee says that's some hard carpet. No, it's not. The blade sunk in and then it fell over. And the torsion of the blade falling over in the carpet snapped the tip. And it sucked to see that in person. All right. Ian says steel snobs on surgical steel. But how does stainless? You know what? I laugh, but it might actually be an episode worth making, because I remember when I was younger, I used to see, surgical stainless and be like, oh yeah, it's going to be a great stainless steel. That's what they use in the surgery rooms, right? Obviously most of us know better now, but it might actually be a cool episode to make on surgical stainless. Asher is about to drop a full-tie Spiro and S90V warning and drop point OEM. Oh, you know what? Is this on their website? Is this on their website? I'm a sucker for a good Warncliffe. Is this what we're talking about? This guy right here in stock, the Nomad. The Nomad. Are we talking about the Nomad, Pete? OEM'd by Petrified Fish, very nice. And most of the other models that are in stock right now, crazy value. S90V in aluminum. S90V and aluminum. Let's see, we've got crossbar lock, reversible pocket clip, but this wire clip, no, I hate wire clips. Some people really like them. I hate them so much. Good news is that, replacement clips like this guy right here from Rip's Garage Tech exist. Thank the Lord. Wire clips feel like paper clips and I dislike them. It's almost mandatory to replace them with something that actually feels better. Otherwise, that looks cool. Milled aluminum. I'm assuming those are contoured handle scales. It's hard to tell from these pictures. Are they contoured? Do we know? It doesn't say. Warney. It's available. $135. You can get the Warncliffe version. Satin hardware. $135. S90V. It's right there in the sweet spot that I like too. These are 7.4 inches long. I wish that we knew what Petrified Fish's Rockwell hardness target was. Not that it matters. S90V at 59 Rockwell still performs amazing. David V, good to see you, man. Thanks for being a channel member. He says, I picked up the Sage 1 in Maximate and it's been great. I don't hard use my knives though. Right tool for the job. Fair point. I'm also not a hard user of knives. The difference that toughness makes is more than just its durability though. And that's not something that people really take into consideration. Toughness, the tougher the steel, the less you have to rely on geometry for holding up the stability of the knife. So what I mean is that you can do really low edge angles on a tougher steel and get more cuts in a cutting test. A good example of this is, even though there's plenty of people in the community that like to say, well, like S30V, you say blah, blah, blah about S30V, but it's got this, it's got the same edge retention as M390 or very close. if you look at actual cut tests between S30V and S35VN, S35VN is a bit tougher, but it's also a little less wear resistant. However, because of that extra toughness and extra corrosion resistance, the edge is more stable. And so you can actually cut for longer with S35, or at least that's what extended cut tests have shown. So toughness does play a role. Now, in the extreme, when we're talking about steels like Rex 121 and Maximate, they rely heavily on their wear resistant properties to maintain their cutting ability. But I would take better edge and blade geometry over better steel properties 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. Steel Addicted says, I prefer D2 over 14C. I wish a company would do titanium frame lock D2 DLC coated under 100. I don't think I've ever seen that combination. Specifically the DLC coated. I have seen D2 and titanium. DLC coating, not so much. But for example, if we go over to White Mountain Knives, you want to look at Tucson. Tucson is famous for doing the D2 and titanium. So check it out. This one, nope, that's M390. That's kind of cool though. Check that out. I like it. I like it. Oh, freaking Tucson. Pulling me back in. Damn you, Tucson. That looks cool. That looks cool. Look at that. You know what that reminds me of? Look at how deep that grind is. Look at how deep that... Oh man. You know what that knife is? That knife grind is basically a mullet. Business in the front, party in the back. I love that. That looks great. Freaking Tucson. Titanium and frag carbon fiber handle. What in the world is going on here? This is why I can't look at Tucsons, because they've got some really good value and some really crazy cool designs. I've also heard that recently they've upped their game when it comes to higher heat treat targets, higher Rockwell targets. So I can't even say that anymore. I kind of want this now. I'm probably the only one. Everyone's looking at me just like, freaking Tucson. But look at that. $135, M390 titanium and carbon fiber. Is the pocket clip reversible? No. That's a bummer. I was about to say that looks like a Tom Brown tracker fixed blade. Tom Brown tracker. Am I crazy? Yeah, I'm crazy. They're not the same, but they both have that super deep grind in the back. I need one of these. I would carry that fixed blade. I have absolutely no reason to, but I would carry it anyways. That's what the grind reminds me of. Not the blade shape, the grind. All right. Back to finding D2 and titanium for under 100. We will. Let's see. 14C micarta, $44. Titanium, PEI. Let's do this. We'll narrow the search. Handle material, titanium. Okay, so here we go. Steel Addicted, you said that you wanted D2 titanium frame lock and DLC. We're not going to find that. We're not going to find DLC, but we can get close. So we're going to see what is out there. This is kind of cool. Yeah. Lightning Anno. Some people really like it. Some people really don't. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It doesn't mean that I hate it though. Here we go. Here's another one. $90 and it's sold out. That's a bummer. The Tucson Wong design. That's kind of crazy. Is that what kind of lock is that? What kind of lock is that? New style lock? $70, D2 and titanium. It's called the New Design Lock. That looks like that might be a two-handed operation kind of knife. How does that even work? White Mountain Knives messed up by not providing a demo video of how that lock works. If you don't showcase what the new lock is or how it operates, how's anybody going to want to buy the knife based off of that lock? We have no idea. That's a very critical component. I've wanted one of these. These are absolutely bananas. And a lot of people don't like these, but I kind of want one. The David Chen TS 500. It's absurd. I love it. What else? What else? This guy? Sold out. Sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. Okay. So they have a few options. What if we change it to include carbon fiber and G10 and micarta as secondary options? Okay, now we're getting a lot more options. 6 leaf, which is basically Tucson. Here we go. $65. That's a good deal. Oh, look, a David Chen. Cleaver Tanto. Absurd. But I still want one. And micarta. Okay. Anyways, I think I made my point. They're out there. They're out there, dude. Tucson is going to be a good company for that. They're going to be a really good company for that. I actually got close on one. So this is the new knives. And this one is titanium. It's not DLC. It's a black wash blade. Titanium scales, front flipper. It's not a frame lock. It is a liner lock. But I reviewed this recently. Also under $100. Not a frame lock. Gas Station Knife says, I can't stand my benchmade mini Crooked River because of the axis lock. I bought that right before I got serious about knives. Haven't bought a benchmade since. There's only one benchmade that I actually really want to buy, and it's the Mini Adamas in their forged carbon fiber or shred carbon fiber. And I've handled it, and I've handled full-size Adamas before. I actually like the Mini Adamas better. Not this one. This one's in G10. Marbled carbon fiber. It's this guy right here. So yeah, if I was to buy a benchmade, it would be this one. That would be the one. $375 is a lot for that knife in my opinion, but that's the one I like. I'm not a big benchmade guy. I've never owned one. I've handled a handful of them. Dragoon says my 14C Century R1 is insanely sharp. Does it have really thin edge geometry? That'd probably be why. Anyways. Hey, shout out to Tactical Llama. Good to see you. He says, Rollshambo just posted several in chat while you were searching. D2 knives with titanium handle scales under 100. Nice. Hey, how's it going? C. Kobe, welcome in. Good to see you. And shout out to my man Top Dog. He says that is what knife reviews are for. Gas Station Knife says Tucson is hit and miss on detention / action. If you are willing to tune, they can end up pretty fun. I've owned several Tucsons, and I gotta say, I feel like they have a similar thing going on to Bestech. If you didn't know, Bestech does not manufacture their own stuff. They shovel this work out to multiple different factories depending upon what the design is, what it's made out of, so on and so forth. So they have like all these different manufacturer connections going on. I wouldn't be surprised to find out that is what Tucson does as well. Would not be shocked at all. Gnarly Charlie says, hey, Rollshambo, thanks for the chill music and no horns. Sometimes I'm just not feeling the horns. Sometimes I'm not feeling the horns. Sometimes I am. It's kind of hit and miss like that. Fresh 1117 says, I recommend the Bel Air over almost every benchmade. Yeah. Oh man, I've been resisting super hard lately, but there is a carbon fiber Bel Air. Carbon fiber Kershaw Bel Air. Which site had it? It was Knife Ship Free. That's the one. And they're in stock. Look at how gorgeous this is. Can we appreciate this for a hot second? Look at that. Look at that beautiful carbon fiber MagnaCut USA made axis lock. $200. That is the same material composition, same knife lock as the Mini Adamas for almost half the price. Benchmade. What the What are we doing, Benchmade? Better value right there. And I'm willing to bet that it's probably a higher Rockwell. It's probably a higher Rockwell MagnaCut too. I'd bet any amount of money. So yeah, this one, I've been resisting this one lately, but I kind of want it. I more than kind of want. This is weird for me. This is what happens anytime I make it public knowledge that I'm not a big fan of like a certain type of knife. Like last year, I started the year saying I'm just not a big fan of automatic out the side knives. And then I bought like 6 of them. This year I'm like, I'm not a big fan of, crossbar style knives. It always happens that way. Always. Says, yeah, the butterfly costs some dollars. Yeah. I know. Ron Dobbin says, what about the Benchmade Anthem? I want that one. They don't make the Anthem anymore, do they? Or did they bring it back? I don't think they brought it back. The Anthem is different than, the Axis lock, though. Pretty sure. Knives and Gear says, look at the secondary market for that Benchmade. You can pick them up for around $250-ish. Yeah. That's not a bad idea. The hard part for me is that like there are knives out there that I look at and be like, you know what? I really like that one. But when there's so many options, it's rare that I have $250 and the first thing I'm looking for is a Benchmade, which is why I haven't bought one. They do have a knife that I like, but it's never at the top of the list. All right. Stephen M says, quit saying you're not a fan. It's costing you. You're right.
Epic fail.
You are right. Hey, shout out to Nick Travellini. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being a channel member. He says, don't forget a better edge too. Kershaw has a much better stock edge than Benchmade. I've never tested the stock edge. I've never tested a brand new Benchmade stock edge. I've been loaned and I've gotten in on pass around a few benchmades. So I've never tested out a brand new, never used benchmade. I have owned several Kershaws. Dale Lane, good to see you. He says, people always complain about benchmade prices, but what about Spyderco? Show me a decent blade steel USA made Spidey that's cheaper than a benchmade. I'm ready for the hate. Okay. Challenge accepted. And there's no hate. There is no hate. For the record, Spyderco's prices are they're heading in the same trending direction. That said, this is actually a bad this is a bad statement to make, because the 15V Para 3 lightweight has been released. And if you look up CPM 15V Para 3 lightweight, so hear me out, okay? These are available. These are available because everyone's waiting. And of course, the first place I look up, it's sold out. These have been available. In stock, ready to ship. Here we go. All right. So CPM 15V is one of those steels that is, if M390 is a super steel because of its edge retention, then that would make 15V like a ultra super steel. 15V is far more wear resistant than M390 for comparisons. So we've got Spyderco Para 3 lightweight, CPM 15V, American made, right? Wire clip. I hate wire clips, but they do make replacements, so you can get a replacement if you really want. FRN handle skills. All right, now $153. Let's go over to benchmade. Benchmade. Or you know what we could do? We could just, they probably sell benchmades at River's Edge Cutlery. Let's do this. Benchmade. Let's see, and we're going to sort by price, low to high. Let's see how far do we have to go down the rabbit hole to get something that compares. So you can get a mini Griptilian in S30V for $150. No. What kind of handle skills are those made out of? What's the material? GFN. It's probably similar to FRN. S30V, some fiberglass material similar to FRN, $150. Let's see how far we have to go, at least at River's Edge Cutlery. S30V, Grivery. Blech. Oh, I hate Grivery. Oh, Grivery is the raisins of the handle scale material. There we go. Because just like raisins, you know, when you find an oatmeal cookie and you think it's chocolate chips, you see the dark bits and you think they're chocolate chips, but actually they're raisins. That's what Grivery is for handle scales. You pick it up, you're like, oh, that's going to be G10. Let's see. Come on, Benchmade. Come on, Benchmade. How much do we have to spend to get something better than S30V? I'm trying to be unbiased here. It's really difficult. Oh, look. Benchmade will charge you $180. Okay, that's CPM D2. I do like CPM D2. I was about to go off. 154 CM, $190. CPM 154. What I'm looking for is S90V. Benchmade does S90V. They do crew wear. They do magna cut. So how much do you have to spend to get one? I think this one, the water collection, should be in magna cut, right? Yeah, okay. $200. So, all right. So this is my point. Spyderco's prices have gotten progressively worse. Inflation is a real thing. You have to account for it. In order to get to a knife, at least at this retailer, River's Edge Cutlery, which is a pretty decently sized retailer, you have to go to $200. With Spyderco right now, you can get the lightweight Para 3 and 15V for $150. And for the same price tag with Benchmade, you're looking at FRN and S30V versus FRN and CPM 15V. So that's my point. Like Spyderco's, they're heading in a similar direction, but not as bad. The valuation that we're getting from Benchmade right now is not that great. And if you ask my opinion as to why, it's because ever since the father stepped down and the son took over Benchmade, we've seen a very, very specific shift to the point where they're bringing back old models, but they're not necessarily doing them right. Just look up reviews on the Benchmade Necron. It's like $1,000 butterfly knife, and the fit and finish is trash. But you don't have to take my word for it. Just watch the reviews. All right. Not feeling the song. We're going to change it. Steel Addicted says, I picked up I don't know how to say that. Is that Lemifshi rattlesnake design? I've heard of Rattlesnake. Rattlesnake has done some designs for Tucson. They're really cool designs. But they're out there, man. That has a tuning fork inside that makes it ting when you open it and close it, not to mention is a very small, well-made knife. Yeah, I have heard of them. I believe you have to buy them off of, it's either Wish or Alibaba. It's one of those like big foreign sites. It's not Temu. I think it's Alibaba. And I like Rattlesnake designs. Rattlesnake knife designs are really cool. It's a really good material composition value proposition. I've never tried one though. Spirona says, I mean, we could make a list that 15 knives long for Spydercos with better steel and better scales at lower cost than Benchmades. Yeah, I'll say this. There are some Benchmades that are not a terrible valuation. But most of they have more that are than aren't. Is kind of the point that I'm getting to. Fresh says Spyderco did lose me on the bodacious pricing though. I'm with you, man. I didn't buy one. I'm a Spyderco nut, okay? I bought this one. You guys know what this is. Swish buoy. Review coming soon. This is a better valuation. This is a better valuation than the bodacious. And I'll stand on that hill. I'll die on that hill. Hey, how's it going, Brown Sugar? Good to see you. Welcome in. Dale says, me eating humble pie, I'm very wrong, but Spyderco's prices have been getting out of hand. I agree, man. I agree. And I think that it's really easy for us to hop on these opinion trends. I've been guilty of it. You know, like we hear other people in the community, you know, whether they're people in the comment section or channels that start saying things and you're like, yeah. And then, but before you know it, like if you really look into things, it's not quite as cut and dry. And keep in mind, I just looked at one retailer. You know, there's more Benchmades out there. There's more Spydercos. Not all of Benchmade's knives are bad value propositions. They're not all of them. They just have quite a few that are. And the way they've been doing business lately, they've been spending more on their litigation team than their R&D team. I said what I said. Rainey says, is there a Benchmade for $150? There is. River's Edge Cutlery, check it out. If you scroll down, you can get a mini grip in S30V and GFN, glass-filled nylon. That's what it is, GFN. It's basically Benchmade's FRN. Right? Yeah, mini grip, $150 S30V. I don't actually think that that's a bad valuation, by the way. We're talking American made. Yes, it's an old design. I'd be willing to bet that we could probably find some good knife scales for that. Actually, you know what? Like that's not bad. Like I know that I am not the biggest fan of S30V in general. If you didn't know that, watch my S30V is dead video. But do they make aftermarket scales for that? Benchmade mini griptilian scales. Like, can I find some aftermarket scales on Etsy? There's gotta be. That knife is famous. $50 will get you some G10 scales. So then you're in $200. You still have S30V. But how much would it cost to make this something that I'd like? Okay, here we go. Applied Weapons Tech. Anodized aluminum, $70. Is that 66? Yeah, it is. Okay, 60-61. I was kind of hoping it was 70-75. 70-75 aluminum is so underrated, but we rarely see it. That might not be a bad deal. I'm just going to throw this out there. That might not actually be a bad deal. $70 for some scales. Mini Griptilian is one of their older designs back from Benchmade's heyday. You can get American made aluminum scales from Applied Weapons Tech. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't kind of interested in this combination. That's not a bad valuation. Throw on some different scales. Gas Station Knife says, I got my Shaman for $216. Do Benchmade go on that steep of a discount? I don't look at them enough to know. I'm certain like Black Friday, you can get some good deals on Benchmade. I mean, they wouldn't be dumb enough not to give discounts on Black Friday, right? Somebody knock on wood. Yep, plastic handles. Yeah, I hate plastic handles, man. It's the same, like, even if I was to buy the I don't even like FRN. Okay, like FRN is not as bad in my opinion as Grivery. I like FRN better than the glass-filled nylon handles. I tried a Benchmade shootout. I reviewed a Benchmade shootout, and my issue with the shootout was that it felt cheap for the price tag. I didn't say it was a bad knife. I said it was a bad price because they were going for like $300+ at the time. How much do Benchmade shootouts cost now? Because they were about $300 at the time that I did that video. Benchmade. Where's the shootout? River's Edge Cutlery doesn't have them. Okay. Benchmade shootout. The shootout. It felt, the handle scales were flexible. Blade HQ 325. They're already going up. So yeah, I reviewed this knife. It was in a pass round group at the time. And the handle scales just felt cheap. Like you could feel them flexing. And I also didn't like the geometry of the switch. And so my thoughts on this one was, it's not that I don't like the knife, it's that I don't like the price of this knife. And I stand on that. Those handle scales did not feel quality. FRN feels more quality than GFN. The glass filled nylon is I would take FRN over GFN. I take anything over Grivery. I hate Grivery. Grivery handle scales are the worst. But this is my point. Like, you want to talk about valuation. Like, you gotta give Kershaw some props here on this Bel Air. Marbled carbon fiber, crossbar style lock, Magna Cut, $195. Like, out of the last several knives that we checked out, this one, I don't know why this is still in stock. I have no idea how this is still in stock. It's crazy. Top Dog says the bug out great knife at $100 and less, not worth it as it creeps up above 100. Yeah, the bug out used to be a great value. Not so much anymore. Dale says, yeah, I've not bought a Bodacious or a Shaman because of the price. Yep. I did buy a Shaman. I overpaid for a Shaman, okay? I did it for a knife mod competition. But it's okay because I got these Barclay CNC scales on there that I really like. Jim says, carried my benchmade CQC7 many years, retired it with honors after the liner wore completely out. Haven't bought another one since. Wouldn't benchmade warranty that? Isn't that something that benchmade would... Isn't that something they should warranty? Send it their way, Jim. People have told me anytime that I bring up the benchmade topic, people have told me what keeps them coming back is benchmade's warranty. I'd reach out to them. See if they'll do something about that. Maybe they can help you restore it. Hey, SC Rick, thanks for joining in, man. We'll catch you on the flip side, brother. There's some horns. BB Ant says that little benchmade on the screen is a great fishing EDC fixed blade. The Watercraft, right? Fresh says, got my dead reckoning 7075. Thing is a tank. 7075 aluminum is some of the best underrated handle scale material out there. People don't know this. When they think of aluminum, what they're really thinking of is 6061. 7075 hard coat anodized aluminum is some of the most scratch resistant material out there. It's got incredible strength. It's got incredible scratch resistance. You can get these super vibrant colors when you do hard coat anodizing on it. It's not going to corrode. It's very corrosion resistant. It's actually pretty... Is it as strong as titanium? No. But it's also not... It's also much stronger than 6061. It's the higher grade aircraft aluminum. It's also known as 7 series aluminum. And it's much more expensive, which is why we don't see it on knives as much. But the Dead Reckon Ridgeback in aluminum is one that uses 7075. If you see a knife with aluminum and they don't specify whether it's 6061 or 7075, assume 6061. Because the knives that use 7075 are so proud of that fact that they will mention it. Top Dog says, look, bottom line, as far as I'm concerned, Benchmade has priced themselves out of my consideration for purchase. I agree. You take $100 off of any Benchmade out there at the manufacturer retail price. Now we're talking. I'll take $75. Just give me a $75 discount. Rod Lively says, sell me your or help me find a Heretic Knives custom Wraith Auto V4 aluminum glow carbon fiber inlays. All right. It's not a custom. So you're telling me to sell you this one. I love this knife. This is one of my top 5 knives of last year. This is the Heretic Wraith version 4 DLC coated blade, glow in the dark carbon fiber, tritium firing button, 6061 aluminum. It's one of the hardest firing autos that I love this thing. Bowie style blade. Would I sell you mine? No. Will I help you find one? I was unable to find this specific version. This specific version with the glow in the dark carbon fiber, I was unable to find it available. Last time I saw it available, I want to say it was on DLT. I can find other versions of that knife. But let's see. Wraith V4 on DLT. Where are we at? So here's a Wraith V4 DLC blade, Doesn't have the glow-in-the-dark carbon fiber. Doesn't look like it has the tritium button either. Traction tape, blue, aluminum. But it does have the DLC. It does have MagnaCut. $305. It's not bad. It's not amazing either. Hold on. American Edge. Hold on. Let's do Wraith V4. American Edge is often a very overlooked website. So they've got grip tape versions with DLC for under $300. If you don't need the DLC, you can get it as low as $277. Here's a custom Wraith V4. Check this out. Oh man. Look at the ridge. Look at the ridge on this guy. So this is a custom version. Mother of pearl inlay handles, mirror polished blade. Oh, that's bananas. That is absolutely bananas. It's an auto too. It's a custom auto. I wish they'd done this clip on all of them and not just on the custom. That would have been nice. You know, Heretic actually reached out to me the other day to say thank you to me for putting the Wraith V4 on my top 5 knives. That's crazy. You know, if you'd asked me 3 years ago if I ever thought that, you know, I get to a point where a brand like Heretic would be reaching out to say thank you for me to place their knives in my top 5 list, I would have said you're crazy. Oh, how the times changed. Anyways, there's a custom. You did ask for a custom. For the glow in the dark, I don't know. They didn't give this one to me either. I had to buy this one. They sent it to me and said, we're not giving it to you. You got to give it back. And then I said, what if I don't want to give it back? Can I just buy it off you? Because they told me, they said, we're going to be releasing these, but these are a special version. So my guess is that this is a limited run. That was my guess then. When I tried it out and I handled it, I knew that. And I knew that if I didn't buy it, that my opportunities to buy it could be nil. And now we can't find these available anywhere. But they've got several over at American Edge Knives. They've got several customs. So here's for example, let's say you don't want an auto. Here's one 1650 manual. That's cool. Croc skin inlays. What? Oh, that's a straight Florida man knife right there if I've ever seen one. Hefted aluminum handles with croc skin inlays. You got to be a boss to carry that one. It's a manual, mother of pearl inlay, Vegas forge and vines and roses Damascus blade. That's beautiful. $1,650. Gorgeous. Oh. Oh, that looks cool. That looks really cool. Here's a custom with DLC. Look at that. Yeah. I love the Bowie style blade. I do. I don't need a custom. Heretic, if you're watching, I would love one. I'm good with this guy right here. I've done like 3 videos on this one. Love it. Truthfully, if I didn't, I wouldn't have bought it, but I do. Hey, Josh, he says, Shamboni, how are you, brother? I'm doing good. It's the end of my day, so I'm tired. Fresh says, Wraith V4 Glow 1 in stock at Sharp Things OKC. Ooh, really? Sharp Things OKC. This is a retailer that I've known about, but I never check. Last time I was there, I was looking at the High Grain Designs knife. Let's see. Okay. So if we search for Wraith V4. Hey, there it is. It's in stock. No, it's not. It's out of stock. Fresh, why are you doing that to me, man? You said it was in stock. It says it's out of stock. The V4 is in stock, but not the glow-in-the-dark one. The glow-in-the-dark one is out of stock. That's too bad. That's too bad. Traction inlay. The ones that are in stock are the ones with traction tape inlays. This is the one that was being asked about. With the glow-in-the-dark carbon fiber handle scales. It's $380. Wait. Okay, so this is weird. This is weird. Because if we go back, look at this. It says out of stock. Clearly, it says out of stock. But then if we go there, it says that there's one left. That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. So if I wanted to add to cart, yeah, okay. They lied. They lied. You cannot add the Heretic Knives Glow Carbon Fiber. It's out of stock. I don't know why they do that. That is an awful way to run your business. It's lying. It says that it's in stock here. Says that it's out of stock in the cart. Says that it's out of stock here. It's not in stock. That's unfortunate. You got me excited, Fresh. I was excited. Laid Off Pete says, click on it, one left, add to cart. Fresh says, it was there when he first asked. I had it in cart. Oh, that is brutal. Okay. That is brutal because these are not easy to find right now. This specific version. This is my favorite production version. Obviously there's some killer customs out there. All right, guys. So, Laid Off Pete says, who on the stream bought it? A sadist bought it. They're like, oh, available? Not anymore. Oh man, I truly do love this knife, guys. It's really good. It's really good. We are nearing the end of the live stream. Before we go, the same announcement that I gave out at the beginning of the live stream, I'm going to give out now for those who weren't here for the beginning of the live stream. Starting next week, I'm moving into my winter schedule for live streams. That is to say that the first 4 months of the year are generally slower for my live streams, which means that I am going to be spending my time working on more content, specifically more Steel Snobs content. So starting next week, we will not be live twice a week. We will only be live on Saturdays from next week until April. Come April, we'll go back to the 2 streams a week. And on these Saturday live streams, I'll be aiming for 2 hours minimum. Starting next week, of course. The reason I'm doing this is because I am struggling to find time to make the content that people care about. My Steel Snobs content is by far and away the heart and soul of my channel. It's the reason why I've seen such explosive growth over the last year and a half. And it's my most demanded type of content. It is also the content that takes me the longest to make. There's a reason why it's been so good, but I want to continue to commit to the quality and to improving that content so that it continues to be something that people love. So for that reason, from now through April, we're moving to 1 live stream a week. It'll still be 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time every Saturday. And if I can, I may throw in some surprise live streams here and there. We'll see. As with everything, my main goal is to continue my commitment of making only the best content that I am capable of. And this is an effort to continue to do that during a time of the year when live streams are generally a bit slower for me. So I appreciate everyone understanding. Please keep your eyes peeled for new Steel Snobs content that will be coming out soon. I will have a Still Snobs episode out by the end of the month. That is my commitment to you. So the next live stream will be a week from today on Saturday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. Mountain, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, or 7 p.m. Pacific. I hope that you can make it, you weekend warriors. You filthy animals. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good one.